Hi there everybody, this is Two Take Isaac. This is my second take recording this video because I realized the first take I was covering up the damn module with my stupid wrist the whole time. So I'm trying this again and I'm going to keep in mind that I'm going to try and not cover the UI very much, but if I do, I'm sorry. Anyways, this is Toadstep. It's a lovely little module from my friend Isa at Ocean Dreams. And what she has constructed here is an incredible, very, very powerful 4-track sequencer with gates and slews and amounts and electron-styled parameter locking and all that jazz. Now, I want to start by saying that this module does a lot of things, but even if you just use it for the most simple things that it does, it is still very good at those simple things. And so I'm going to be making this little video just to show you the kind of sort of how I use it in a patch. This is it in context. I'm just going to show you the parts of it that I am actually using. I'm not going to do a manual or like a full walkthrough of every single thing it does or a tutorial or anything like that. Basically, I'm just going to show you some cool stuff it does and make some music and have a good time. So let's start. I've got this cool chord sequence, and to explain the setup here, I've got the clock input coming from my key step. I've got this first cable going to this envelope generator here, and it is just the gate into the envelope is this cable. So we'll start with that and I'll explain more as I add in more things. So to start, I press play. So you can hear a steppy little. So here we have 16 steps. It's running down the steps like this and then like this. And we can turn them on and off. Super handy, very easy, simple, normal. If you want to generate steps, you're too lazy to press buttons, you can just turn this knob and it will make you a little Euclidean whatever pattern. Yeah, a lot of steps. Super fun. So it's like a really useful like Euclidean pattern guide. Gal. Non-binary pal. So I'll add a little more steps here. And for the parameter locking, so we've got these parameters up here. We've got 5 of them. To start, we've got the gate, so we can adjust how long the gates are. And if we just hit the button, it'll adjust it for the entire, every step. But if I make these a little shorter, and then if I hit home 3 times, it'll always take me back. Dorothy clicking her heels is the word that you use, the phrase that you use. But what I can do is I can hold a step and hit gate, and I can turn this knob and make one step in particular have a longer gate. Or this step, for example. The module is not this awkward to operate. I'm just really trying not to cover it. And now you can hear we've got those specific steps are longer. It's really cool. So I can make another one a little longer here. And all that fun stuff. But this is also an analog sequencer. So if I hit this button here, now I'm looking at this track here, which is track B. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, this is an analog sequencer, I'm going to turn the gate all the way up on it. And then you can hear our release has already gotten louder. That's because I need to turn the amount down. So I hit the amount. This is like the analog voltage that it actually is. So this is essentially just controlling the release of that now. So all the way at the bottom, it's like 0, and then it goes negative, but now I'm controlling that, right? But let's say, for example, I want like a sample and hold, and I just want this to go kind of randomly. There's built-in modulators. So if you hit this sample and hold button while you're on a page, you can assign how much of that sample and hold modulates that page. Go back to the amount to turn that down a little bit. But now there's a sample and hold on my release. Super handy. Very nifty. And I've already made this like kind of interesting, quite complex gate pattern. I like that a lot. And I've got a filter over here, so this is just controlling my filter and my volume and stuff. Day Out and Crupter, really good from Dwight Fortek. But the other thing it can be is it can be an envelope. So let's go to channel 3. And what I can do is I can turn up, I've got this going into FM2 on Neptune, my filter here. And you can kind of hear, let's get to a more regular pattern just for the sake of, you can hear that kind of little, very blippy thing. So I go back to this track, and I turn this down a bit, and I turn the gate up. Kind of hear it there. Kind of pulsing that now. But what I can do is I go to slew, and I go to the second page, it's decay. Now it's got decay. And now it's like a decay envelope, and I can change the pattern of it. So again, that's slew, hit the second one, and then I can just adjust the slew. So now it's skates, but now it's a little decay envelope. And I could add some attack as well if I go to the first page. You hear it kind of slewing up and down, and it will do all sorts of interesting maths for that. But yeah, so I've got this like really kind of cool, complex pattern just powering my envelope. And you know, adding a kick, some ducking, come on, more reverb, more verb. So yeah, there you go. Very brief, very surface level, wishy-washy little overview to two-step. I really like this sequencer a lot. I think it's very powerful, and I think it's maybe a little bit intimidating as well because of how much stuff it does. But what I would say is you really you don't need to dive into it that deep if you don't want to. And I think the things that it does very well, even at the very basics. So like, I think especially in like a really small case, if you had like a 62 HP case and you just needed like an absolute modulation powerhouse that was super editable and it's a little divey, but like still like really, really fun to use, I think this is a great bet. It's a bit like an IntelliGel Steppy on absolute steroids. It does so much crazy junk. And if you're just using the basics, if you're just using 4 tracks, you change the tracks with that button, you turn the steps on and off with that button, then it's great. It's just like a four track drum sequencer. Like it could totally do that. And the fact that it does so much more is really helpful, because sometimes you're like, oh gosh, I'd like this to, power the gate of something, but I don't have a spare envelope. And then it's like, boom, this is your damn envelope. Or, oh man, I want to generate Euclidean patterns. Turn the knob. Like, I need a sample and hold. Press the sample and hold. I want it to randomly add the decay to the sample and hold, so my hi-hats have a little variation. Like, it can do that. And it's not that hard to make it do that. It also has like preset memory, which is awesome. Like if you just want to like store presets, and so you can make these complicated patches and then switch to them, and it'll even do like stuff where it like switches in time. So if you like set up a bunch of things, you can do that. And you can jump over steps. You can have different time divisions. These can get really long. I think it goes up to 64 steps or 128 steps or something ridiculous per track. So like if you want to get even deeper into it, you can. But I really like it. It's just like 4 little flexible 16-step sequencers that can do all sorts of junk. So anyways, go out and get one. I like it a lot, and you might too. This has been Take Isaac, and also get a Toadstep. This is a good companion to Toadstep if you have a small little modular case that does drums. This is a great little like co-mingling. Anyways, but why?